Welcome back to Loadout Lounge. My name is Seth Nichols, and today we're looking at shoes. Let's look at them. So, I have a wide variety of shoes that I've owned over the years. I'm actually going to look at those shoes today because those have been the shoes that I've found the most comfort in. I wear them pretty much in any different scenario, from whether it's riding on my mountain bike where my shoes get eaten up by the pedal studs, or whether it's walking on mountain trails or camping, or it's walking through water, rivers, puddles, out in the rain, to just going to the gym, everyday use. I've honestly got a pair of Ons for pretty much each individual activity I'm doing. So I have a shoe for everything. Let's look at them. So let's start with the oldest pair of shoes. Now, I do a thing where when I cycle through my shoes, I don't just throw out the old ones. Used to, I would use them for just outdoor use. If I was mowing the yard, I would have a pair of crap shoes, or shoes that I didn't care about messing up. So these are my oldest pair of shoes. When you look at the shoe, it looks old and raggedy, which it is. These shoes don't actually come with shoestrings, but these shoes are so old that I actually broke the elastic band that they come with. And you can kind of see the typical areas where shoes might wear out. There's a hole there. That is a very common place I see on a lot of On shoes, where over time you wear that out. You have the heel where it's worn out quite noticeably. And then I guess this would be the other thing, is the actual elastic shoe bands, if you want to call them that, have broke off because they were so old. Now, as far as these shoes, these are my bike shoes, my mountain bike shoes. These have been promoted, or actually demoted, to my mountain biking shoes. I did have another older pair of Ons that my bike studs, or my pedal studs on my mountain bike, just ate away at the bottom. And I know there's a way to fix it. With the bike you can get clips, but I'm the type of person, I don't want to clip into my bike when I'm mountain biking out in the trail. I want to be able to take my feet off the pedal whenever I need to, right then. And I don't trust myself on being clipped into the bike. So these have been demoted to that shoe, and these are just a all-around shoe, general purpose. If I'm painting, if I'm doing any type of manual labor, or just doing anything that I think I could mess these shoes up or something like that, I will wear these shoes. These are very lightweight. The shoestrings is the only drawback. The reason I really like these shoes when I first got them is because I did not have to tie them, and that's a lot of the draw for me with these type of Ons, is you don't actually have to tie the shoe. You just pull the tongue and you put your foot in, and it's almost like I don't want to say a slipper or a sandal, but it's that easy to slide on. And then I've ran in these shoes. Now, I'm not running long distance, but I've sprinted hardcore without these shoes, the strings on, with the actual elastic bands, and my shoes stayed on and I was fine. I've played soccer matches in these shoes. It wasn't very fun and I wasn't planning on playing soccer, let me throw that out there. It was overseas, and I was invited to play on a soccer pitch, and these are the only shoes I had. So I played with these, and they came off a couple of times. But for the purpose of just everyday walking and maybe some light jogging, going to the gym, you can definitely wear these On Cloud shoes. And that's originally what I wanted them for. It's just an easy shoe that I didn't have to worry about having a hassle of tying them, and I could just be quick with them if I'm needing to get out of the house real quick and go somewhere, instead of having to sit down and tie my shoe real quick, which I know that's first world problems. Is not really, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but if it saves me a couple of minutes, why not? So these are the On Clouds. If you've got a pair of Ons, eventually they're going to wear out, and you're probably going to do the same thing I did. So, but I just want to show you these to show you kind of the noticeable wear points, what to look forward with having a shoe that you're going to keep for a long period of time. The next shoe I got because it was my business's colors. So our business is blue and green, and my personal business, I wanted something that kind of fit the colors and would look kind of cool. And so we have another pair of Ons. These are also, I believe, On Clouds as well, but they're blue and green. And one of the biggest reasons why I stopped wearing this is because some of the tread was just peeling away. Now I could have super glued them, yes, but I didn't. And so they wore off. But that's not the main reason. The main reason is because it had a little tear develop right there on the toe. And I reached out to On to say, hey, a tear developed on the toe. So how this happened was I barely nicked my toe on a door when I opened it, and I was trying to step up into my business, and the door had, I don't want to even say a sharp edge, it just had a point on it, and it barely nicked it, and it frayed over time. I didn't even notice the nick, but whenever I went to the gym the next day, whenever I was walking on the treadmill, it just tore all the way back to here. And so I have since retired these, and I will wear these just whenever around the house, whenever I'm going out and not really worried about appearance or anything like that. These still look very nice. I don't think there's a way to repair these very easily. I could probably put some glue on them, but it's just going to peel away anyways. So these have just kind of set by the wayside in my shoe shelf that I've made, and they're just there if I need them or feel like wearing them. My gym shoe is very similar to that shoe, just a different color. I got these to replace this, and these are the shoes that I wear to the gym. These are very comfortable. These are also the On Clouds, and these you can deadlift in them. A lot of times whenever you want to deadlift, you don't want a huge sole on the bottom of your shoe, and so these work very well. Some deadlifters deadlift and take their shoes off and deadlift barefoot, but I'm not one of those guys. I want to keep foot fungus away from my feet, so I wear shoes. Even when I'm in the shower at the gym, I will wear flip-flops or my Crocs or something, because I don't want any type of foot fungus. If you've had it, you know it sucks. So these shoes are very comfortable. They're very lightweight. I wear them every Monday through Friday, every morning to the gym, and they have worked really well. They're very stable. They support my ankles, and they're very comfortable when I'm running, when I'm walking, when I'm lifting heavy weights, doing all the different things that you would do at a gym. Now with the On shoes, they call it the Speed Board, but it's this groove right here on the bottom. And I can show you all the different versions of the shoe. That and there. Here's a different variation of it. Looks like a slingshot. And there's a little bitty one right there. These are things that y'all may not notice if you have a pair of Ons, you may not notice. But when you walk on a gravel road, if it's chat, you're going to get rocks in your shoe. That is probably the biggest negative or the biggest con to me for these shoes, is just the hassle of getting a piece or a rock in your shoe and having to stop, pull it out, and throw it. Or sometimes you have to sit there and you have to dig it out because it gets so wedged in there. Other than that, honestly, the On shoes are just a great comfort shoe. They're a great comfortable shoe, and they do what you want a shoe to do. They're very comfortable. They support you. You don't have any hot spots on your feet, especially when you're running. That's a thing that's always worried me about having a shoe to run in, is making sure that my feet are comfortable and that my feet don't go numb in the shoe, just because it's cutting off circulation when you're running, or just in general making sure that it's not doing you more harm than good. So most of the shoes, they have a Cloud Tech technology, and the newer versions, they partnered with I want to say Helion, and they've just made it a much better shoe. So I'm actually trying to look up the shoe I was just looking at. And I will post a link to the different shoes that I would recommend from On in the description below. Some of these shoes are an older variation or older generation, and they may not be available, but the newer versions are just a newer technology, a better version. Or if it's like Chevy dealerships and all the vehicle manufacturers, it's just different colors. Not much has changed with vehicles, but I think a lot of the shoes they've added different things, like partnered in with different companies to provide a better overall shoe. Like now they're adding Helion Super Foam for your heel comfort and just different things like that. And they've had Mission Grip, which is a technology for the strongest grip on their outsole. But they've had it for a little while, and I've had quite a few shoes with that on there. And speaking of that, the shoe that I've been wearing pretty much every day, whether it's camping, in around the rivers. If you watch any of my adventure videos, you've probably seen me in these shoes. And I also, in one of my jobs, is I am a roof specialist, and so I climb on roofs and check them out. And so they're called Cougar Paws for the actual business, the roof business. But if it's a low slope, like almost a flat roof, I have gotten on those roofs in these shoes and done just fine. These are the Cloud Venture. These are the waterproof version of the Cloud Venture. They do have a non-waterproof version, but I recommend the waterproof version if you're going to be on the trails, especially during the winter, because frost melts, get your shoe wet, or just snow, ice, rain, all that stuff. Springtime, I definitely recommend these. If you want something for the summer, maybe just the non-waterproof variation, but definitely the Cloud Venture are my everyday outdoor use shoe. Now these are a trail running shoe. They're a little bit heavier than the other shoes, but it's not noticeable, honestly. They weigh about 325 grams. But it's got Mission Grip on it, and it's also got the speed board right there, but it's a different variation of it. It almost looks like a slingshot, and they call it a slingshot sole, or outsole, if you will. So these shoes, the reason why I like them so much, and I wanted them to begin with, is they're green, but they're also waterproof. So I have this pair and another pair that whenever it's supposed to rain that day, or I might be going around water, I put them on. These are my work shoes. These are my camp shoes, the shoes that I don't necessarily worry about messing up. They have done great, and you can see how much I have. You can see how much I have worn them, because the actual heel has worn away, and the tread on the bottom of the shoe is starting to wear away quite a lot. Right there, it's gone away pretty well, and you can see that they've just been used and abused, honestly. Now these you do have to tie, but honestly, I tied them once and I'm able to slip my foot in and it's comfortable. I don't have to worry about untying them and tying them. Now if they get a little bit looser or something, I will retie them, but generally I don't have to untie and retie. I don't want to say I'm lazy, but I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to shoes. When it comes to getting dressed, I want to be as quick as possible, and shoes is part of getting dressed, so I want to make it as fast as possible so I can get out the door and go do what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm a size 11.5. All of the Ons I've been wearing are size 11.5, so they are true to size. I have a little bit of a wide foot. Thank you, Grandpa Nichols, for giving me that to where I can't wear Pumas very well. Pumas are a thinner or a narrower shoe, and so I don't fit in those very well at all, and they hurt my feet. So the fact that these are a little bit wider, and these aren't you could probably order wide. These are not that. These are just straight 11.5 in the shoe size. There's no wide to it, just normal. So, but the tread pattern has been very great for on trails. We just went the weekend before this one, and there's a video out, and I'll put it in the description below too. But we went to the Buffalo National River or National Park, and around the Buffalo River in Arkansas, northwest Arkansas, and I was in the water with the shoes. If you do get water up here on the very top of the shoe and you let it sit there, it's going to soak into get your shoe and get your foot wet. Yes, it's going to happen. But you've got probably an inch to 2.5 inches, somewhere around in there. You've got about 2 inches to 2.5 inches right there before you're actually getting water above the top of your shoe. So you can step in water puddles and not have to worry about your feet getting wet. And if you wear wool socks, it's not going to get that wet anyways. And you just know if you get your socks wet whenever you can, and it's not a chance of getting wet again, take your shoes off, take your socks off, put on a dry pair of socks. If it's out in the camp, wilderness, in the woods, or whatever you're doing, but something like that. Now, my dressier version is the Cloud Runner. And these are just an overall sleek looking shoe. They're still waterproof, so I have worn these quite a lot. And these are actually 11. So I'm able to fit these a little bit more comfortably than some of the 11.5. But I think I got the Cloud Venture a half size bigger because I wanted to make sure I could fit wool socks in there if I'm going camping in them and all that stuff. I want to have a little bit thicker sock. And these I can wear just ankle socks and be just fine. Now, these are going to have to tie as well, and there's not as much tread on them. These are more for your asphalt running or sidewalk or at a gym, potentially. These are more shoes like that. So, but these are waterproof as well. I'm not going to get the water up to here. These I wear if it's a rainy day. I don't go on the trails with these. I don't go in the river with these. But I will wear these if I'm going to town or if I'm doing something traveling and it potentially is going to rain. I will have these just so my feet stay dry-ish. My feet sweat. So the thing about these shoes is they're breathable even though they're waterproof. So with my feet sweating, it's not going to be as big of a deal. But that's also why I wear wool socks or thicker ankle socks to kind of wick that moisture away. So I have worn Salomons before. I have tried different variations, but these are just the shoes that are my preference right now. And it may change. I do have a couple of pairs of Salomons still, but Ons are just what I've been wearing. And like I said before, it's almost like a cultural thing where this generation is kind of like, ooh, Ons, they're cool looking. And let's everybody get Ons because I see them everywhere. So the only drawback I would say with the Ons, like I said before, how they have this speed board, it just makes it so easy for chat and gravel to get in your shoe, and then you're having to pick that out. But if you don't have to get on asphalt or if you don't have to get on chat or gravel driveways, then it's not going to be a bother to you. My driveway is chat. That's why it's kind of a hassle, because every single day I walk out to my vehicle, I've got a rock in my shoe. If you have ideas or suggestions, put it in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe the video for more content like this. This is my everyday carry shoes, if you will. Alright, that's all I got for you on this video. We'll catch y'all on the next one.